Hello everyone and welcome back. So today you join me in my office. Now don't worry, we're not here for very long. What I'm actually going to do, this video is a little different. I've got a little bit of B-roll from when I was out on location. I was also talking. The reason why we're doing it this way instead of me the whole time being on location is I was catching up with one of my friends, Nev, and I didn't want to do a load of video work and talking on location while catching up with him. It felt rude. So what I ended up doing was just catching a few little snippets and taking my photos. And what I want to talk to you, so what I'm going to do from here, what I'm going to try and do at least, is explain to you what was happening. So yeah, so we were getting out with the Bronica ETR film camera right here. I was using a mixture of the 75mm lens and my 40mm lens. Right here, I've got my 75mm lens on here. And you might have noticed or you will probably notice in the video, I've got like this blue tape around here. Now that's just to stop any light leaking around the front of the lens. There's a couple of little holes for one of the lens mounts, which cover. It's like a bellows, but I don't have the attachment. I don't have the adapter ring. I do have the bellows, unfortunately, but I just can't use it without the adapter ring. I tried to find it as much as possible, but I just can't, no luck there. So yeah, we had to go at doing some long exposures. Our longest exposure was 8 seconds, and I used an app which I will link to down here, called what it is. Actually, no, I'll link it to it in the description. It is a paid app, but it allows you to put in your film types, what you're using, what you're shooting on, the ND filters that you want to use as well, because film has a failure point, so it doesn't, 2 seconds with an ND filter or whatever, it won't take 2 seconds with film. It's normally about 6 or 7 seconds, so yeah, there's a failure point. So yeah, you have to go a bit longer than what your light meter says. So yeah, so my first composition was these lovely cracks and knocks in the rock here. So I'm going to be referring during the stages of this to my screen for context, so I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I noticed when I was, I sent my drone around the area trying to find some compositions, and what I ended up finding was this section from above. Now, it did look very different when I was, seeing it on the drone versus going there, and I thought it was going to be so much smaller, but when I got there it was bigger. But what I liked were these lovely cracks leading me through the scene to the mountains in the background. Now, what I didn't want in my scene were those mountains and the clouds. I wanted to use my mist filters, so that's what I've done. I slotted in my mist grad and my mist strip just to really soften off that scene. And then I put, I think, a 3-stop grad in there, a 3-stop ND. I might have specified where, but I don't think I have for this bit, because I don't think I've got any talking, but if I do, you'll understand why. So yeah, loaded it in. As you will see in the final shot, we do have these banding lines. Now, I'll try to work out what it is. I've got my friend Nolan in South Africa who does a lot of medium format and large format film photography. And I showed him some of the images, and yeah, he has no idea what's caused it. I've done a little bit of research as well on my part, and turned out that it's possibly down to the lab I'm using, which I will never use again. It's got the chemicals wrong, or the drying time wrong, or something during that process. They didn't get it right. I think it's something to do with the bathing stages. I don't know what they've done. But yeah, it's the way they've developed the film. So what I'm going to go and do is take it to a different lab that I've never used before, but has got high recommendations here in Perth. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'll cut you over to there. You can see this image and see what what the photo is like, and then we'll cut back to here when I need to. well, how nice is that photo? Came off a real treat. So I had to refine it. I had to get rid of those lines. So what I ended up doing was using a grad filter in Lightroom, and what I've done is I pulled the dehaze slider down, and I've also pulled the clarity slider down, just to soften that patch of sky, and then I pushed up the brightness, the exposure up by half a stop, just to help clear up that area, refine it, and get rid of those lines. And I was being extra careful not to blow those whites as well, so we've kept it all within tolerance, and it looks superb. So yeah, a nice soft grad for that, and I tried to make sure I was keeping as close to as you know, the original as possible. So yeah, another thing I had a issue with, which was more of an issue down to me, I was having camera problems. Now, where I was in my previous video, I was having some struggles. We were down at the Gap, and doing some photography in an area where you wouldn't normally otherwise be, and yeah, I was having problems. I wasn't sure what was going on with the camera. I wasn't sure what it was. They're taking the photos, and I took about 3 photos of the same old thing. And what happened was I forgot what the shutter sounds like in this camera. I'm so used to Hasselblad where it would the mirror would come back down. But this camera, as soon as you take that photo, you hear the I think the mirror goes up, and then you hear a little click, and then after the exposure is done, you'll hear another little click. But what I was unable to hear was that click. So yeah, you'll hear me go on about it. So yeah, everything is fine. It was just I couldn't hear it, and I couldn't tell when the exposure was started and when it had ended. So yeah, that was my problem. So yeah, let's get back into this. Hopefully you can hear me all right. I'm using my phone. Yeah, I'm currently having some problems with my camera. I'm not sure what's going on. I've just gone through 3 frames on my camera, which I was meaning to just go through 1. I'm not sure if the camera's taking photos or not. Yeah, normally I hear the slap, or yeah. Mind you, it's been a while since I've used this camera as well, so. Well, big wave just came up. I think I'm going to be shooting from here and getting a nice composition of the rocks out here. Doing a long exposure again, probably going for 8 seconds again. Free stop, and my missed grads, just because I don't want the mountains in the background. I just want to make this nice and simple. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, hopefully this pieces together nicely. Just reviewing some of these images, so probably 3 images from this location. If I can get this one right, it's just going to be a nice simple scene, shooting with my 40mm lens, using the free stop again, and the mist strip and grad, so the sky will be blown out a little bit. Yeah, but this film is pretty flexible, so yeah, it should come out nice and crisp. And since we're in the shadows now, it'll be very, very nice. Anyway, I better get this set up. Alright, so I was pretty bad here. I forgot to actually tell you what I was taking a photograph of and what drew me to it. So what I liked were the lines that were leading you in, but what I liked, which will help with a nice long exposure, is the water was lapping around these 3 bigger rocks out at sea. Now they weren't too far away. The reason why I was far back as well, as you would have seen in that little clip, is the water was coming quite close, and I didn't want to stand there, and I know these rocks are going to get quite slippery, so that's why. So yeah, I really like the 3 little rocks, and as you'll see, I also put my grad mist on and everything, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like without the mist filter, and then what it had with. Now what we will have a problem with is that same problem, which sadly I couldn't fix, so it has ruined the shot, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the negatives are like when I pick them up later on this week. Yeah, it's really disappointing, because it would have been nice to actually be able to use that and publish it in a book one day, but sadly not. It's just going to be here for YouTube, and yeah, yeah, definitely not using that lab again. So yeah, get back into this now. Okay, so I think I've mastered that now. I think it was the normal viewfinder that was throwing me off, the waist level viewfinder or whatever to do. What I've done during the exposure, I tucked that down, and then after my exposure I just flipped it back up again. So yeah, I think we're all good. So now I've got one more frame or two, maybe possible 2 frames left. So going to try and find something else for this. Actually, maybe that right there. Don't need any filters. I like it. Nice textures, shapes and everything in that. I think, yeah, I'm gonna get that. For this next shot, which is probably our last one of the day, we went back to where I was originally taking photos. Now I did notice this little composition as I was leaving the area and thought, you know what, I might probably come back to this, and that's what I done. So the waves were coming in nicely. They were breaking over these nice rocks in the foreground. Unfortunately, when I came to taking my photos, I didn't get what I wanted, and annoyingly, as soon as I came to packing up, that's when a couple of big freak waves came in and wetted the area that I wanted. So, you know, you win some and you lose some. I'm still very happy with the images. We've got these lovely lines in the image with these nice rock formations that I decided to get in. And yeah, I think I opened up my aperture to f16, so I had a nice deep focal plane, and for everything to be in focus. And yeah, I used my my mist grad, I think. I don't think I used my strip. The reason why I didn't use my strip is there's a lot of things like entering the frame which I didn't want to intervene. I might be wrong, I don't think I can see it, and I don't think I've got any B-roll of it. I think I've just got it without the filters in place, from what I can see. So yeah, that's a little unfortunate. But I think the reason why I wasn't game to actually put the filters on and do some recording was it was sketchy, and I just wanted to do as little recording as possible on my phone and be there just in case my camera did slip, then I can grab it in time. So yeah, we'll get into that, and then we'll do the end piece to this video. So it turns out that I did actually get that B-roll that I wanted, and yeah, it turned out I didn't actually use any filters. I didn't realise when I was talking that, because it was a little while ago since I edited these photos, when I got them back, I think it was just over a week ago, I forgot that I didn't use any mist filters. We didn't use any ND filters as well. It was getting quite dark at that time. So yeah, that's the reason for no filters required. I needed to also increase my aperture. I think I went to f16 to get everything in focus, so we used the 40mm lens, and I got everything from the front to the back in focus, which is really nice, and I'm really quite happy with the photograph as well. We don't seem to have any problems with those lines, so it makes me suspect it is down to the developing. I'm not sure why it doesn't affect the whole film. No idea what's going on. So yeah, when I get back my negatives, I'm going to go into the city this week, pick them up. I will be able to find out what actually went wrong. I'm not sure if it could even be down to scanning. I honestly don't know without actually looking at those negatives. So yeah, Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more film photography in the future. Not sure if it's going to be, soon. Actually, in our next one, we head to the Stirling Ranges and I climb up one of the mountains there and do a bit of film photography there. So yeah, there is a instance where we will be doing some more film photography. So yeah, anyway, I'm Simon and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.